It's April 23rd. I'm just finished with work, and since I rode the bike today, I'm going to see if I can show you how I get home safely, and not quickly, but safely. Okay. Yarrow Central. So Yarrow Central is behind me, over there, and I turn onto Community Street and go down this way, all the way to the end. It's about half a kilometer, and then go up on the dike from there. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is the view from up on the dike. These are homes on this side, and there's scrub woodland on this side, and then beyond this scrub woodland is the river, which we'll arrive at presently. I'm exiting the dike right here and going down toward the river. And the reason that I do this, I could stay on the dike actually for quite a long time, but the reason I go down this way is because the trail's a lot nicer. The dike top surface tends to be a little bit rough, but I mean the trail's not much better, but it's a little bit better. But you're right next to the river at spots. There's a couple people putting in a kayak right now, or a pair of kayaks right over there. But it's more scenic. It's a little bit slower, but it is prettier. Just around the corner here, there's a train bridge right there. Lots of people out today. There's a train bridge right here that goes over the river. Now, some people use it to cross the river at this point. And I'll admit I have done that a time or two, but you're not supposed to. It's property of the railway, and you're just supposed to stay off. A train could come along at any time, and you could be put into a bad situation. So it's not recommended, and it's posted to not do that. First bridge over Street Creek. This is actually the second bench that I've come to, but it's the one with the view of the bridge. There's a privately run campground here, a couple of kilometers up now. This is the Vetter River campsite, and there's people staying here already. It's usually busy in, well, May through September. And they have spots for RVs with complete hookups, and they've got spots for tents. And they've done a lot of work. They put little fences next to the tables to separate the sites here, and they re-graveled a lot of it this year, or over the winter, and they took out a bunch of the trees that were basically standing dead. This marks the boundary of the campsite property. Now we're going back into the forest. The trail gets a little narrower here, and this stretch is less well used. A lot of people turn off at the end of the campsite and take that little side road out to the dike proper and continue on that way. And I have done that, and it's nice, but I find this to be a little bit nicer. So I've got 2 kilometers to go until I get to the bridge, the Vetter Bridge, and there are 2 short, sharp climbs and 1 terrifyingly steep descent in this stretch. So I'm going to put this away and I'll probably bring it out at the top of the terrifying descent. So this is the bottom of the second climb, and it doesn't look too bad, but it's actually too steep for me to ride up because I just have a little commuter bike, not, you know, a mountain bike or racing kit or anything. I'm not doing cyclocross, I'm just trying to get home. So I'm just pushing the bike up, and it's not very long, 2-3 minutes to get to the top end. And there's a bench there if you get tired, and in the summer there's a fountain there. Well, there's a fountain there all the time, but in the summer they actually turn the water on for it. So that's the end of the trail section, and from the rest of the way home I'm on pavement, pavement or road. And the cycling infrastructure ranges from pretty good to sketchy, and I'll just try to be safe in all of it. So this is actually a shared pathway, so it's suitable for cyclists and walkers, and of course dog walkers, according to signage there. And we're just approaching the Vetter Bridge. So this is the new bridge. It replaced the old bridge about 4 or 5 years ago, and seems to be in good nick so far. And this is the last shot of the Vetter River looking downstream that I get on this particular trip. And so from here on in, I'm going through Vetter Crossing and then Sardis, and then crossing the highway to Chilliwack. So this is what I mean about the cycling infrastructure. This is considered reasonably good for this area. There's a bike path, there's a painted line along the side of the road, and an indication that bikes are permitted in the painted line. This area we're coming up to is called Garrison Crossing. That's a reference to the fact that there used to be a military base here. This is where the garrison would be stationed. All the barracks were here, but they're all gone, and they put apartment blocks in here now. We're only about 2 blocks away from one of the busiest roads in the area, but this is a nice quiet street. There is no bike lane here though. That's what I mean about the infrastructure being sometimes sketchy. There's no bike lane and there's no extra room on the road. Now we're back to a bike lane again. Crossed Watson Road. There is a crosswalk there and it's lit. So this is a bike lane and it ends right up here, but it's a start. So I'm just off Miller Drive, going under the power lines up there, and I'll go around 2 corners here, this one and that one, and I come to a school field right here. So this is South Sumas Road, and when we cross this road we've left Vetter Crossing, Vetter Middle School, we've left Vetter Crossing and we're entering Sardis. View today. Turning onto Webb, and then I'm about to hit a separated bike path. It's kind of a rarity in this country. It is about 4 kilometers long, but I don't go all the way on it. So this is a separated bike path. Railway line is right there. Field is right there. Lots of blackberries here. And it's mostly a bike path, but it's used for runners and people walking strollers and dogs and everybody. No horses though. Right up here by Knight Road is the second fountain along this route. with the other one being back just past that steep uphill. Sorry about the road noise. Anyway, I'm leaving Sardis and across the highway on this train bridge that has a catwalk here, and then on the other side is Chilliwack, and that is our brewery, or one of them. That's the big one, Molson Coors Brewery. Hasn't been there that long, and I go on a bike path right behind it. Squat building here is actually the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. That's the public entrance. Good guys. So this is what passes for reasonably good infrastructure, because there's bike lanes on both sides of the street, and where there's a danger of being clipped by vehicles, they put these plastic bollards there, which used to stand straight up and down but don't anymore because they've been clipped by vehicles. Oh, scared a rabbit. This is the last spot where you get a pretty decent view of Promontory, the little mountain there, and some of the snowy mountains to the south of us. Broadway Church. So I'm on Broadway and I'm just about to turn right onto Fraser Street, and I'll explain why in a minute. Fraser Street is here. Okay, so the reason that I turn onto Fraser Street is because it's quiet, for one. It's wide, there's no traffic. Broadway has a bike lane all the way to the end at Yale. However, I would then have to turn right onto Yale, which has a bike lane. Then I would have to turn left onto Menzies at an extremely busy intersection. And that's sketchy at best. So instead, I turn onto Fraser, come to Menzies, hello, come to Menzies, turn left onto Menzies, and I'm gonna go down to Yale from here, and then I'll decide how to cross it, and then go to Menzies North. And I'll put the camera away because that stretch is really busy. There's competing businesses on either side of the road with lots of traffic turning in and out without people really paying attention. And like I said, no bike lane. And there it's compounded by there being a crosswalk half a block further. Almost home now. All right. Down a couple driveways and there we are. Oh, I see Henry and Owen are both home, as I can see their cars.